Welcome back to Forza Horizon 5. Over the past little while, I've had so much fun making these sorts of videos where we kind of just have a conversation about Forza Horizon related stuff. And last week, when I was uploading my video about the FH5 Update 33, it got me thinking, what is my perfect update for Forza Horizon? Well, I've come up with a super interesting list. Well, at least I think it's super interesting. You will have to let me know. But today, we're gonna jump into it. Before we get into my perfect update for Forza Horizon 5, though, I would love to hear some of your perfect update. There are a couple of rules that I try to follow while making mine that I encourage you to try to follow as well if you try to make yours, and let me know in the comments. Number one, your update needs a theme. You'll see what mine is in a sec. Then you need some cars for the festival playlist. I went for a mix of all new cars for FH5 and a mix of cars from some previous games, because that's just kind of what the developers have been doing. Then I went with a stadium makeover just to make the update a little bit more spicy, and like a feature update to kind of go along with the rest of the update that kind of fits the theme. And since recently all of the updates have had DLCs associated with them, I've also made a DLC pack. Seriously, I can't wait to read some of your ideas. I'm sure they're gonna be very cool. Let's jump into my perfect update. However, this is just my update. These are not confirmed in any way. Please don't take this as anything more than it's just me kind of having fun and talking about the cars I would love to at some point see in the future. Let's jump in to Forza Horizon 5 Horizon Horsepower Update. I feel like the festival playlist is a fun place to start this off, though. I've gone for 5 cars in my festival playlist. The first 4 cars I'm gonna mention are unlocked one every single week, but not by getting 20 points. Since this is Horizon Horsepower, I would love to see players go out and do things related to horsepower, specifically top speed. Every week you could go in and say, for example, week number 1, you have to go and hit, I don't know, 230 miles an hour at a specific speed trap. It would be a very difficult challenge that would encourage players to go and download tunes, make their own tunes, and just try the challenge over and over until you can finally hit that speed zone. We actually got some challenges like this back in Forza Horizon 4, and I would love to see them back for FH5. Car number 1 is a returning classic from Forza Motorsport 3, 4, and Forza Horizon 1. This is the SSC Ultimate Aero. Back in the day, it was one of the world's fastest cars, and I think for a time it was also one of Forza Horizon's fastest cars. It's a car that I would love to see return for Forza Horizon 5, and it fits the horsepower theme beautifully. 1,200 horsepower. Car number 2 in the festival playlist, I'd also love to see this come to FH5, the Cadillac Escalade V. This would be an all-new car for Forza Horizon 5. We've already got a Cadillac Escalade in the game, but it's from like Forza Horizon 2 days. It's a great car, but it's a little bit outdated. Escalades have gone through a lot of transformations since then, and the Escalade V is mind-blowing. They've got a monstrous V8 engine that puts out nearly 700 horsepower, and for an SUV this big, that's insane. It can do 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, which is just mind-blowing and a little scary. If we move on to week number 3, we then get another returning classic that we haven't seen for a really, really long time. This is a Nissan GTR, but not any regular Nissan GTR. This is the Mines Skyline GTR from Forza Motorsport 3 and 4. Mines is a tuning company, and they took an R34 GTR and boosted the horsepower. It's got 625 horsepower bone stock. It's also got a little bit of extra aero in the front. I think the rear wing is also slightly different just to give it a little bit more downforce. I would assume it's also on grippier tires than a standard GTR and so forth. The Mines GTR is one of my personal favorites. I would love to see this thing come back for Forza Horizon 5. And fourth and finally for the weekly unlock cars, I'm gonna give it to you, the Maserati MC20. This thing has been rumored to be coming to Forza Horizon 5 for a year or maybe even more than that, and it still isn't in the game. So you know what? I'm gonna add it to my perfect update. Not because the MC20 is a great car. It is a great car. But for the sole reason of having players stop asking for it. Now that we've gone through the 4 different weeks, there was one more car I wanted to add to the festival playlist. And I feel like the 5th car should be associated with points just because I feel like it makes things a little bit more interesting and gives people like incentive to go through and do some of the challenges every single week. And you know what? I'm gonna do it. It's one of my favorite cars at the moment. This is the brand new Porsche 911 GT3 RS. I would love this thing in a Forza game. It is genuinely my favorite car on sale right now. What's actually funny about the GT3 RS in comparison with my perfect update, it's actually the least powerful car in my Horizon horsepower update. It's got like 520 horsepower, but those are Porsche horsepower, so it's probably got like 550, but that's not the point of it anyways. It's designed to go around racetracks as quickly as possible. It's got a monstrous rear wing, and it looks incredible. I do hope the developers add this car to FH5 before FH5 ends its life cycle, but we'll have to see. For now, we've just got to keep fingers crossed. That's everything for my perfect festival playlist, though. We'll get back to the new cars when we talk about the DLC. I did quickly want to talk about, though, my stadium makeover and my special feature I would like to see. Let's start with the stadium makeover. Since this is Horizon horsepower, we need somewhere where we can take our cars and go quickly. And you know what's a place where players could go to experience fast and speed that they can't really do at the moment, at least not without any special map? A quarter-mile drag strip. Thinking about it, I probably should have measured to actually make sure you could fit a quarter-mile drag strip inside of the stadium, but let's just say, for argument's sake, the stadium is big enough. On screen now, you can see some video from a beautiful drag strip map that I showcased a couple months ago here on the channel. It's just a custom map that was made in Event Lab, and it looks insane. I would love to see a drag racing strip like that, but maybe like 4, 6, maybe even 12 lanes if you could actually fit that wide of a drag strip and still get the length in there. But anyways, on one side of the drag strip, I would love to see like a podium where you could do like cool photos and stuff like that. And on the other side of the drag strip, I would love to see like the classic Forza Horizon 5 like music festival with all the people in the crowd and the big stage and everything. I think that would look really cool. Seriously though, Forza Horizon 5 doesn't have a quarter-mile drag strip, and the only way to really do a proper quarter-mile drag strip in the game, at least right now, is to use my map. And nearly 500,000 plays later, it's still getting some use, which is just, it's crazy. I can't believe the developers haven't actually added a quarter-mile drag strip in the game just yet, so maybe we'll just keep fingers crossed for that in the future as well. I did say I would love to add one feature, though, to FH5 in my perfect update. It's nothing huge. It's not like give every single car a wide body, give every car 15 exhaust customization. No, it's not that. Very simple thing. Give us the ability to add wheelie bars to certain cars in the game. We've already got wheelie bars in the game for the Camaro drag racing car. We've already got them on the VW Beetle and so on. Imagine if you could add wheelie bars to like an old school Challenger, a Chevy Nova, even like an old school Mustang. Things like that with wheelie bars and even like a little parachute on the back would be incredible. I'm not asking for it on every single car, just a couple of them. You know how recently the developers kind of added the ability to make your tires a little bit bigger? What if we just went and add wheelie bars to the cars where you could make your tires a little bit bigger and ignore like the trucks and off-roaders and stuff like that? I think that would be incredible, and again, fit with my horsepower theme. I think that'd be awesome. Like I said before, though, the developers have been adding paid DLC car packs in pretty much every update for the past couple of months. So to stay on theme, I've gone for that as well. We've got 4 cars to talk about in my paid DLC car pack, and just because I can, instead of charging $5 for 4 cars, I'm going to charge $4.20 because I'm a child. Okay, moving on. Car number 1 in my DLC car pack would be the hero car. This is the Garage 56 NASCAR Le Mans car. Again, in case you've been living under a rock, the NASCAR that raced at Le Mans was the Garage 56 car, and it was incredible. It was faster than the GT3 cars out on the circuit. It's got like 650 horsepower from a big American V8, and it's so cool. I'm honestly surprised the Garage 56 NASCAR has not been included in pretty much any racing game out there right now. I seriously love this car. I love all the engineering that's gone into it, and I think, again, it fits with our theme beautifully. And what's crazy about the Garage 56 NASCAR is it's actually the least powerful car in my Horizon horsepower car pack. Car number 2 is this thing, or well, truck number 2. Is the Ram TRX. It's a vehicle that people have been asking for forever. We've got modern-day Fords in this game. We've even got modern-day Chevy trucks in this game, but we do not have a modern-day Ram in this game. Recently, the Ford Raptor R was added into FH5 as well, and I think it needs a rival, and the Ram TRX is that. 700 horsepower, big V8, big American muscle. I love the TRX, and I'd love to see it in this game. Car number 3 is this thing. The McMurdy Spurley. The McMurdy is mind-blowing. It is one of the world's fastest cars right now. It shattered the lap record, or the hill climb record in Goodwood last year, and it's probably going to do the same again this year. It is a ridiculous car. It's got 1,000 horsepower. It's got a fan that sucks it to the ground so it can take corners while using that horsepower. It's a single-seater, and it's crazy. Let's be honest, the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento Forza Edition needs a rival, and I think this is that rival, and I think this would probably beat it. I love the McMurdy. And moving on to car number 4, you probably haven't heard of this thing before. This is the Low-Tech Sirius. The Low-Tech Sirius is a one-of-one sports car. There's nothing sporty about this. It is a proper supercar. I think it was built for the owner of Low-Tech. Low-Tech was basically like a team that built racing cars in the 80s. They mainly went to like Group C racing, and they built some incredible stuff. And they also built one Low-Tech Sirius, and that's this thing. It has a 1,000 horsepower V12 from Mercedes. It's actually the same engine that the Pagani Zonda used, but it's got twin turbos strapped to the thing to give it all of that extra horsepower, and it's mind-blowing. It does 0 to 60 in like 3.8 seconds. It came out back in 2004, so that's pretty good, actually. So there you go. That is my DLC pack. That is my Horizon horsepower update. What do you think? I mean, call me biased all you want, but I think that is cool. I tried to have a little bit of everything so everybody could have fun with this sort of update, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.